Hi there, everyone. For all of you that have seen my short of harvesting cherries, I now have my little dessert that I made today. Today's the same day we picked cherries, and last year I made a cherry crisp, and the year before I made a cherry pie for my channel. Now every year at this time is cherry season, and then apricot season follows. They kind of overlap each other. So I wanted to make something different so I could show you. And there are all kinds of cobblers that you can make, and this is a different type. It's like almost a biscuit on top that you put. It's so good. So I've already made it, obviously, and I'm going to show you after I take a bite exactly how I made it. And I put a little ice cream on this. This is really, it's a 10, and it's really good with vanilla ice cream. So it's kind of covering up the biscuit part, but you can see it as I showed you earlier on this. So, the one good thing about, or the extra good thing about making cobblers is they're much easier than making a pie, because you don't have to make a dough, roll it out, and a lot of people have problems with making pies, and this is just really easy. And as you can see, everything just gets put in a bowl, mixed together twice. So this is very good, and you can also make this with frozen cherries. And so we have quite a bit of cherries. I've already given some to my neighbor. I got cut off. I thought I finished it, I just edited it, and I noticed I got cut off. So we did have a lot of cherries, and we always pick them after the pickers, and we always end up with more than we think we're going to have, because there's not a lot of trees that have any left on them, but we always end up with more than we thought we were going to get. So next week we'll bring some to my mom, and I'll probably bake something to take with cherries in it also. And as I said, you can use frozen cherries in this recipe, but hey, we have fresh, so gotta use them. And so we also have put some in the freezer. I made 2 small bags for smoothies, and I have so much left, and I'll probably end up giving more away. And I'm just letting you know, this is really my favorite cobbler. It's got a biscuit consistency instead of, I made a crisp last year, that was fantastic too, but this is my favorite cherry cobbler. So I hope you give it a try, and you're gonna love it because it is so easy to make. So thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Hey, the first thing we're going to do is pit our cherries. Now I have 2 different cherry pitters, this one and this one. This is cuter, but this one actually works really well. I got this in my local grocery store. So we're going to pit these first. I've already washed them really well in baking soda and water. Okay, I just pitted a portion of my cherries. Here's all the pits, and here's some cherries. I have plenty more. I'm just pitting as I go along. Okay, so for this cobbler, you're going to have a filling and a topping, and we're going to assemble the filling first. So we're using fresh cherries. If you don't have fresh cherries, you can use frozen. We're going to use vanilla and almond extract, a little bit of flour, sugar, and lemon juice. And that's about it for the filling. I'm just going to use the same little container that I used to actually pit the cherries in. So you want to use anywhere from 5 to 6 cups of cherries. And I'm using sweet cherries. We don't have sour cherries out here where I live. So then I'm going to add, you can add anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons. I'm using 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going to use almond extract, a teaspoon. I'm going to kind of just estimate, and I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon of almond extract, something like that. I'm not measuring that. And then I'm going to pour in my lemon juice, which is 1 tablespoon, and then last I'm going to add my flour, and this is going to be 2 tablespoons. And what I'm going to do is just mix it all together, just combine it. Now you can use a pie plate, but the only reason I'm not is because it's too shallow and I want it a little deeper. So I'm using an 8x8 pan, and that's what this recipe calls for. So I am using 5 cups of cherries instead of 6. So now what we're going to do is transfer this mixture of cherries into our 8x8 baking dish, and you do not have to grease or oil this pan. You're just going to place these in your pan, and next you're going to make your topping, and I haven't made it yet. I'm going to make it in front of you so you can see exactly how it's done. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, you want to keep your 8x8 of cherries right next to you, and now we're going to do the topping. So first you're going to have 2/3 a cup of granulated sugar, then you're going to add 3/4 a cup of all-purpose flour. You're also going to add your baking powder and salt, and I will have all the amounts in the description underneath the video. Then you're going to add your vanilla and almond extract that are both in here, and your melted butter. And that's all that's going into the topping. So now you can use a whisk or a wooden spoon, whatever you want. Actually, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be kind of like a dough, like a wet dough. And you're going to, once you kind of get it kind of combined, you just go a little bit longer. Then you're going to press it with your fingers, and then you're going to put it on top of your cherries. So this is what you're going to do, like this. Press it together after you get it all combined. Now I have 6 tablespoons of melted butter in here. I think I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon because I want this to hold together a little better than what it is. So I will be right back. So I'm going to add more melted butter, and then it'll be more how I want it. The butter was softened because it's been hot today and I had taken it out earlier, so it was a little softer, and so I may not have got exactly the 6 ounces that I thought I was getting. But this is how you want it, like a consistency like this. So next you're going to take your dish of cherries, and you're just going to place pieces of this across the cherries. And it doesn't have to be any uniform way. In fact, cobblers aren't uniform. You just want to kind of mash it down and place it anywhere you want. It's going to be kind of like a crumble and a cookie dough, kind of in between a crumble and a cookie dough. It's not either one. It's not as crumbly as, say, a crisp, but it's not as firm, as you can see, as a dough is. See, it's not firm like a dough. It's right in between. So it doesn't have to be anything, just whatever you have here. See, it's going to turn out really good. So it's kind of ununiform is a good way to put it. So you should have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. And this is going to bake anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. It all depends on your oven. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, there it goes on the middle rack, and you will want it to be bubbling. The cherries will be bubbling, and the edges and the top will be golden. Okay, I just took it out of the oven. You could see it kind of bubbling on the edges, and it is golden brown. So mine baked right at 30 minutes, but I have a gas oven that's really hot, so I'm going to let it cool on a rack for about 20 minutes. So you can see after I took this piece out, there's still a lot of juice in there, which is what you want in a cobbler. You don't want it dry, so it does have just the right amount. Now we're going to add a scoop of ice cream.